Julian Perico of Peru for 36 holes, a pleasant trip around Casa de Campo and the Caribbean playground. But this golf course fraught with danger, and no midway point leader has ever gone on to win. Perico trying to bring it home at the Latin America Amateur Championship. In the world of amateur golf, earning an invitation to play in a major is coveted. To get there takes skill, a lot of guts, and even a little bit of luck. The Latin America Amateur Championship is one of the few premier events that, with a win, paves the way to the pinnacle of golf, a major. It's here at Pete Dye's Teeth of the Dog that a major invitation is hanging in the balance. Meticulously hand-carved from rugged rock and coral of the Dominican Republic coastline, this #1 course in the Caribbean is a tropical playground that has plenty of bite. It's the ultimate test for over 100 of the best amateurs in Latin America. Life-changing for the champion and a major stepping stone into this year's majors. The Masters Tournament, in partnership with the R&A and USGA, proudly presents the 2022 Latin America Amateur Championship. Well, it's -4 in Chicago, 23 in New York, 34 in Augusta, 11 at St. Andrews. Temperature here on the southeast coast of the Dominican Republic is, don't rub it in, Rich, trading winter blues for some Juan Luis Guerra blue sky bachata. Feeling good, looking good. He Dye's famous Teeth of the Dog. What a golf course. And 102 started out, 53 made the cut. This is the 7th playing of the Latin America Amateur Championship. Rich Lerner pleased to be alongside two-time United States Open champion Andy North. Dottie Pepper with her 17 wins, 2 majors. Colt Knost, U.S. Amateur champion. And the inimitable John Sutcliffe will have the interviews and some colorful stories. And Andy, a dramatic change here in round number 3 as, well, the script has flipped. Here is Abel Gallegos of Argentina, the defending champ, out quickly.
A par 5 second hole, a hole that most of the players can get to in 2, rolls in a bomb, and all of a sudden he is right in the middle of this.
And now Santiago, oh, I like that. You give me a little bit. Santiago de la Fuente from Mexico plays at Arkansas Tech. They won the Division II National Championship. Here he is for birdie right out of the gates.
And has he been playing some great golf? Get started off with a birdie, put the pressure on the guys you're chasing. A lot of birdie opportunities out here in between the disasters.
And here's a big development. How about Roberto Nieves from Puerto Rico? He's a 21-year-old senior at the University of Delaware.
Blue Hen knocking it in for eagle. Front hole location, very, very eagleable today.
He's birdied 4 of his first 9 now. Segundo Oliva Pinto from Argentina. And like Perico, University of Arkansas, do that.
5th hole's giving it up a lot of birdies, a couple of eagles early on. You just cannot make a mistake there. It will reward you.
So here is this dramatic shift with the man who started with a 3-shot lead. He had it to 10 under par with an early birdie. Julian Perico.
That tough hole location, the very edge of that green, shifted over the green, got that one up and in to save a bogey. And here at the par 5, after a perfect tee shot, see this ball curving to the right, not what you want to do, into the water, and all of a sudden this birdie or eagle possibility is turning into a bogey.
So he also bogeyed number 7, and now 3rd shot at number 9.
This is such a difficult hole. I think he's trying to actually carry that ball onto the green. Got a little bit heavy, and it comes right back down to your feet. You'll see so many of the greens perched up like this that you better be absolutely on your short game.
So Perico is not even Well, there he is on the first page, but he's 4 over par. He turned in 43-shot lead, and now he's 3 shots behind. Biondi is the big mover. Your alma mater, the University of Florida. The Brazilian is 6 under on his round today, trying to become the first from Brazil to have won the Latin America Amateur Championship. And now out to the 11th hole, and here is the leader. In fact, he is in front by 2, Nieves from Puerto Rico. He's a young man who has steadily gotten better, really off the radar. He's 435 in the World Amateur Golf Rankings. When he arrived at Delaware, scoring average as a freshman was about 74, and now it's under 69. Andy, he turned a troublesome hook into a controllable fade. It's made all the difference in the world.
Well, he's been playing some amazing golf. I mean, I believe 7 top 10s in his last 9 starts, college golf tournaments. That is really playing some golf.
Here's the hottest player on the golf course, Fred Biondi.
Hole's located in the middle right of this green. So he's going back up the hill a little bit. This ball is going to break from his left to right, and it will be slow. He's a big swing at it. He's running it by a good 7, 8, 9 feet, so he's got some work to do.
Played his last 10 holes in 6 under par. Fourth shot now at the 11th for Abel Gallegos.
Coming off a birdie at 10, caught a flyer from the right rough. This one for par.
And he's got a lot of work left, too, to save bogey.
That one got away from him.
Give you a look at the featured groups. Abel Gallegos played the November 2020 Masters, did not make the cut, as well the Open that year. Nieves trying to become the first since Chichi Rodriguez. And really, the only Puerto Rican to have ever played the Masters or the Open is Chichi. And then Julian Perica. Will see if this new attitude, this new leaf, can get him back on track on the second 9. Now Gallegos.
Just trying to limit the damage here.
On the 11th hole is a short par 4 that players have got wedges in their hands and make a bogey. Have to work hard for bogeys, not what he was hoping for.
Now live at 11, this is De La Puente.
124 yards, needs to keep the ball in the air, cover that right corner.
Just sneaking over the green dot, playing out of that signal rough. The ball really has a tendency to jump, and we've seen that happen quite a few times over the last couple of days.
Yeah, wide bladed and dry, it's going to fly.
Mexico's made a big push the last few years in golf. The last time it was played here, the Latin America Amateur, 2019, it was Alvaro Ortiz of Mexico winning. Of course, we know Abraham Ance or Carlos Ortiz, Alvaro's older brother, have won on the PGA Tour. And now Perico, Dottie trying to put it back together.
The attitude still seems very good, Rich. I got the knuckles as he made the turn, and he hit a very good putt for birdie at 10 that just didn't find the hole. Not seeing any real signs that he's struggling. He's kept his head in it.
That's caught that right-hand bunker. He's got some work to do there. The importance to put the ball in the fairway is you can't overstate it. To be able to control the spin going into these greens. And that 40, he got it to 10 under, but the birdie at the second hole, 5 over since that point.
Now, Pinto, he's even par in his round.
This is all go get it, just 114 yards. Couldn't imagine a better angle. Into the breeze, very high. Starts on a nice line.
Dottie, that's just the difference of playing from the fairway where you you can control it versus really not having any idea what it's going to do coming out of the rough. Green still soft. A little bit of rain early in the week, in the evenings on Thursday and Friday night.
And Biondi at 16.
This putt's going to break quite a bit from his right to left, particularly as it dies at the end. Oh, what a great putt. Wow, he's loving that one.
Knew it. Knew it. Needed it. Hell of a save right there.
7 birdies, 1 bogey. really making a move, getting himself in position to be a winner.
Let's go down to Colt with Gallegos.
Wind starting to blow pretty hard. This one is absolutely melted right down the center.
Yeah, his coach Hernan Ray says he plays caveman golf. He just gets after it. Doesn't want to know a whole lot. It's not real technical. Plays by feel and instinct. So 4 of 8 from Argentina, which, as we've detailed over the last couple of days, does have the richest golf tradition in this entire region. Haz Valdez from Venezuela, really good young player. He's played some professional events back in Venezuela. And then we've enjoyed watching Geronimo Esteve, Dartmouth grad, and then Ezequiel Cabrera, by the way, 14, the youngest. His uncle is Carlos Franco, who's won on the PGA Tour. Now Nieves at 12.
Not quite as long as Gallegos. This one headed down the right side. Should be just fine. And guys, they just got notified they are on the clock.
Time pars, what, about 4:30, 33, 4, somewhere in that neighborhood. And they're encouraged, as well they should be, to play ready golf. And let's go back down to Dottie.
It appears that De La Fuente will play first. Andy, I think interesting choice. Yesterday we saw Ordonez down in here with a putter nearly hold it. This ball must be flown at least 3 or 4 yards across that little shoulder, or it will come back.
That was very well
That
done.
was excellent. You can actually hear now the greens have definitely firmed up.
A Division II All-American at Arkansas Tech. Won that national championship. Creative player, can work the ball both ways.
You know, it's really a great opportunity for some of these youngsters this part of the world that they're getting college scholarships. And D2 gives scholarships just like D1 does. And to get that opportunity to go to school in America, get a chance to improve your game, travel, it's been a great bonus for so many of these young guys.
You see that the WAGR World Amateur Golf Ranking, he's outside the top 1,000 as Perico plays his bunker shot and will have some work to do. Your chairman really made a good point. When Hideki Matsuyama won the Asia Pacific Amateur Championship back in 2011, he was outside the top 500.
He's come a long way.
And new guys are emerging, and as we know, Hideki won the Masters.
And Sony last week. Perico coming out of the bunker, super slow-mo.
Leon's been open about some of his struggles with emotional well-being, a difficult family situation late last year. With permission from his coach, took a couple of months away from the Arkansas team, reached out to, among others, Matthew Wolff, back, enjoying the game, enjoying life. Says he's not focused on results, but on just enjoying the moment. We'll see if he can put that into practice here after a tough front nine. And now his good friend, Arkansas teammate, Pinto for birdie.
Coming off a really good championship last week where he was in right till the end of the South American Amateur Championship. They're second. Not a whole lot going on in this putt. Uphill to start.
Dottie had it right in the center of the hole. All they do is hit it quite a bit uphill.
And it's par 5 12. Nieves, second shot.
231 yards up the hill. Pin just 5 steps on the front of the screen. Cannot afford to come up short. He's going to have to get every bit of that iron.
And ideal, Colt, wouldn't you like to try to knock this over the green? No trouble over the green. You're pitching back down. Nice flat area.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Now Perico and Dottie. This is a big one.
This is a big one. This keeps him in the championship, and I think it's more for his attitude. He's not known as a great chaser. Loves the limelight, loves to be out front. Super important.
Way to go.
He's got to understand that he's only 3 back. If he would have started the day 8 back and got himself into this position, he'd be all fired up. So you have to change that mindset that I'm not messing up. I'm still in a great place. Let's just move forward.
You got to have the perspective.
And Dottie, how about De La Fuente?
I tell you, I watched him play the ninth. It was a world-class, almost Seve-esque up and down from the right bunker that's above the green. I'm very impressed. Family's made a lot of sacrifices to get him to this level in the game, and again, lots of opportunities.
Just too firm. Anything a little bit softer may have gone to the left and caught more hole.
Second and 12, Gallegos.
What a bomb that was. I haven't seen anything near this far off the tee. Just 2:06 left.
What a great opportunity to put it in the middle of the green.
Oh boy, he's begging. This one headed a little right.
And that is, you do not want to leave it down there. That is such a difficult, it's hard just to get it on the green from down there.
So Gallegos is defending. He won at Mayakoba. We did not play due to COVID in 2021. Supposed to go to Lima, Peru, and Lima Golf Club, and know how hard the folks at Lima work. No doubt we'll get down there at some point. 29 different countries and territories represented this week, Andy.
And how about the Argentine team? All 8 of their players made the cut this week, which is pretty amazing. Cut was at 53 players at 6 over par.
Let's bring in Colt with the leader, Nieves, at the par 5 12.
Yeah, this is a scary one here, guys. Stayed out of the bunker. But this is one, Andy, if you don't get it all the way to the putting surface, it'll come right back to your feet.
I mean, would you rather have it in that bunker?
Oh, man, I'm not sure. It's a tough shot no matter where you are. And with it being kind of downwind right here, makes it even more difficult. I would expect this to be out towards the right a little bit.
10, 15 feet wouldn't be a bad play.
Be a great shot. That's just the mistake you can't afford to make.
That to me is depressing a sight as there is in golf. The ball slowly trundling back toward your feet.
There's nothing worse than when as soon as you hit it, you know you don't need to move. It's going to come right back to you.
And I mean, it's not getting any easier. Now it's out of the tight fairway grass.
And you really can't bounce it in there either. You almost just have to play this shot. And
no, he's a good 10 feet below the putting surface. No chance to bounce. That hill's way too steep. That's kind of what I expected on the first one.
Yeah.
So I'll have that for par.
Well, here's a look at the third. You see him trying to just loft it up in the air. When he played his second one, he played it a little bit lower and hit down more into it than trying to scoop it up in the air. This hole is a par 5 that's played over par, which is amazing.
Gallegos.
Boy, you got Pete died here, guys. Found this little pot bunker. This gets the back lip. Got to play outright. Just try to play safe here. Oh, that one needs to simmer.
Wow. Come on, man. You know, you maybe that was a strategic mistake, Andy, on the second shot.
Well, really, the green is so elevated. Short right, short left, or anywhere short of this green is almost impossible to get it close. You've got to hit such a great shot. Either you knock it over the green, where you've got the whole green to pitch down to, or you lay back up at maybe 75, 80 yards where you can control the spin and hit a full shot in the middle part of the green and maybe spin it back down to the hole a little bit.
Yeah, but Andy, these kids have no layup in them, especially Gallegos, who had 206 yards.
No, he can't do that. But that's where you've got to be disciplined enough to know that I've got to carry this ball at least to the middle of the green.
That's what makes this hole so great, I think, in my opinion, is the fairway's huge, right? So everybody's going to hit the fairway for the most part, and they're going to have a go. But the green is so small, you get penalized if you miss it in the wrong spot.
And Colt, as we stare out at the Caribbean, you think about it, this course kind of lulls you into a sense of being your best friend, but at a moment's notice, it'll stand you up on prom night. I mean, it looks amazing. You can't wait to play a certain shot, and then it can all go terribly wrong.
It's the beauty of Pete Dye, my favorite architect by far.
That's a dangerous. That could possibly still get over.
My goodness. Wow.
And we've seen this happen more than a few times.
206 for a second, and he's hitting his fifth from about 30 yards now.
But that's the beauty of this hole. It's a short par 5 that if you don't hit a perfect second shot, it brings any kind of number into play.
Andy, with where he was in that bunker. I'm honestly surprised he didn't just play it towards the back part of the green. Just have 40 feet, just try to make par and get out of here. There was no chance of getting that around the hole.
Well, but I think that's where the experience factor comes into play. They haven't been in this, hardly any of these guys have been in these kind of positions. There's a beautiful shot of how much below he is. That is just amazing.
I have a feeling the heart rate is about as high as it's been all week right now.
There's too much grass on the side of the hill to be able to do that. It's just, oh, this is so sad because it's going along pretty nicely. Thinking that, knock it on the screen in 2, make a 4, and move on, and now you're looking at a really funny number.
Oh my goodness, guys, this is tough to watch. Andy, I would kind of think maybe getting put on the clock here had something to do with this. He didn't take much time over that bunker shot.
I agree, and this isn't going to help their situation at all. I mean, they're going to be well behind after this. It's taken forever. Oh, that's...
Wow, he's taking a little time out here and letting Nieves go.
Now Nieves. This would be a par that would feel like an eagle.
Oh my, that was fantastic.
He does win. You're going to look back to this 12th hole on Saturday as the difference maker. And you really feel for Gallegos. Took that one upstairs, Andy.
But I think Cole made a really good point that the bunker shot that set all this up, if you just put it in the back part of the green someplace and figure out a way to make a par, don't forget about trying to make a birdie. You get yourselves in positions out here that you sometimes have to play defense.
And here is another man from Puerto Rico, 40 years old, Geronimo Esteve.
He's having a day that he's not terribly happy with. He's 4 over par for the day, 1 over the championship. But he has really played some nice golf this week, and I'm sure he's really looking forward to getting into his home country next year.
And 2023 Latin America Amateur, it was announced earlier this week, will be going to Puerto Rico at Grand Reserve. And back to the 12th, Gallegos, and this putt is for triple bogey.
Just saw both of the other guys in his group make nice putts. Really just needs to calm down here. Make this one and try to regroup. Nine times.
With a middle iron for your second shot, that's just amazing. And we've, anybody who's ever played this game has done that. Literally running off to the next tee.
I'm betting he bounces back. Don't know that he'll win it, but I'm betting he'll bounce back with some birdies. Nieves.
Yeah, wasting no time trying to pick up some pace. Tough hole back into the wind today, and he likes this one.
How you like that action, Colt?
It's really cool. It's kind of old school action. Really throws his lower body at it nicely.
13th hole's the second most difficult hole on the golf course this week.
This is at 17. Where do they have it set up today?
Well, they moved the tee quite a ways up. It's playing 284 yards, trying to entice these guys to drive it on the green. This is beyond his second shot. He's driven it right just short of the green. There's a bunker there that is not a bad spot to be, and plays a nice shot out of there. This is going to be a fun hole to watch. I mean, we've seen some guys in the past when they've done this layup and hit 70, 80, 90-yard shots in here, or you can knock it on the green and maybe make it 2, and they've given you a hole location today that you can actually get it close to the hole from the tee. So it could be a fun hole before this day's over.
Looks nice and calm, but it has been a wild ride here in the third round of the 7th playing of the Latin America Amateur Championship.
Nieves, 8 under par, leading. It's 3 under for today's round. He started the day 4 shots off the lead, and now he has a 2-shot lead. Now, this is the overnight leader. Perico is 4 over so far today. Huge shot here at 12. Needs to get it. If you can't hit it on the green, make sure it's long. If it's going to the right, this is where we've seen so many of the players struggle. Just a very difficult par 5, playing over par. His Arkansas teammate, Segundo Ola Pinto. After a huge drive, just a middle iron. Take the whole front out of play. Knock it in the back part of the green. Do not mess with the front. There you go. Good shot. That is well done. We're seeing almost everything on this hole. From 9 to 3, we've seen a lot of doubles. We've seen so many players pitch the ball over the green and have to try to do it again. The ball comes right back to their feet. Very, very difficult short par 5.
Here's Gallegos at 13.
No.
Guys, those trees are not in play. That is unbelievable. That just went behind the 13th tee.
He pulled that, Colt? Just dead pull?
I thought he pushed it from my angle.
So it was
We
a
just turned
push, couldn't tell from
Yeah.
And I mean, the darkness, Andy, in this game can just descend upon you like no other sport. Wow.
Oh, my.
And this after a quad at the par 5, 12th. All right, birdie putt for Biondi here at 17 to get to within 2.
And 7 under for the day. Oh, my. He's flying by players.
This is a sensational round, Andy.
8th birdie of the day. He's got the par 5, 18th coming up. He's got a chance to shoot 64.
So Gallegos.
This looks like he's got
where he teed behind.
It looks like he has driver.
This one is headed right. I'll be honest, I couldn't get back there to get a yardage.
About 20 more than the hole length. Colt.
Perico at 12.
This is a bad movie, boys.
It is.
And we've seen players try. That was a little runner up the hill. Others have tried to land it into the bank. Others have tried to fly it all the way up.
Yeah, that looked like it was a 5-iron. And I don't question the choice. You just needed to hit it harder.
Yeah. There's all kinds of ways to do this. None of them good.
Those were two completely different and really still the same outcome.
Oh, man, this is just a mess.
Andy, you won a couple of U.S. Opens. How would you hit that shot?
Well, I think I would try to probably go up, but I also would be trying to hit it well past the hole, like that shot, to make sure you get it on the green, eliminate any possibility of making a bogey or more.
I mean,
and just take a 30-footer for your birdie, and just try not to get it close.
I mean, short and right and on the green grass there is borderline like a hazard.
Yeah, it's been just brutal for these guys. And anytime you've got a front hole location like that today, with all that slope, there's no way to get the ball close. So just give up on that.
And then Nieves got away with his par back there at 12, 13.
Nieves has 164 back into the wind, playing around 175.
This ball's well to the right. That bunker's well below.
Gallegos.
Hitting his third from the right rough, had about 180. Boys, the dog is biting right now.
This is exactly what Pete Dye had in mind when he came up with this place 50 years ago.
So much at stake. You don't presume nerves. You can't get inside someone's head. But I will say this: Perico has said it's impossible to miss it. The logos of the Masters tournament, the R&A, the USGA, they're everywhere you go. So you deal with it. Masters, 150th Open at St. Andrews, extra special. The amateurs at Lytham St. Anne's. The U.S. Amateur at Ridgewood in New Jersey, and then exempt into U.S. Open final qualifying with the U.S. Open at historic Brookline, the country club. Right now, Nieves has some work to do at 13 with a 2-shot lead. Biondi's red hot.
Boy, the leaderboard is changing. But Biondi is now getting ready to play the 18th hole. If he could make a birdie at the 18th, there's a good chance he could be our leader when this is all finished today. A lot of holes left for these guys that started out near the lead. Plenty of birdie opportunities. Even though you make a mistake or two, you still have to just keep grinding away, doing what you can do. You never know when one of those stretches of 3 or 4 birdies will come. Another gorgeous day at Casa de Campo. Hearing the waves break. What a great sound. From your rooms, you can keep the windows open and hear that all night long. Awesome place, awesome weather. We're not trying to rub it into the folks in the Midwest or the Northeast right now. But pick up your phone, make a reservation. You can be here in 4 to 6 hours. Maybe you can catch a little bit of the finish tomorrow.
The Latin America Amateur Championship is proudly brought to you by AT&T. Fast, reliable, and secure. Bank of America. What would you like the power to do? IBM. The world is going hybrid with IBM. And Mercedes-Benz. The 12th hole, and Oliva Pinto for birdie. He's right there, just 2 back. This could get him to within 1.
It drove the ball in the bunker, had to lay up. It actually turned out to be the smartest play. Got the ball beyond the hole and had this.
Not really a makeable birdie opportunity, Dottie, but you know he's going to look like a star coming out of here with a par.
Nieves third at par 4 at 13th.
Well, this is rather terrifying after what we've seen the last 30 minutes. Another one well below the putting surface.
Yeah, pretty decent play to get it up there within 12, 15 feet. He can knock that in.
Breathe a sigh of relief. Now, back at number 12, bogey putt for Perico. Been a disastrous day so far.
A miss would give him two doubles in the last 4.
So 2 of the heavy favorites, Perico and Gallegos, have stumbled and tumbled all the way down the leaderboard here in round 3. We're in the Caribbean, but it's been tough sledding for a couple of guys.
That's where you just focus on what you need to do. You hear it so often that you need to play one shot at a time and focus on that shot. This is where it really comes into play.
Here is Biondi. Just the lone bogey at number 3, and then he went bananas from there.
8 birdies so far today. He's able to reach his par 5 and 2. Holes in the front left-hand portion of this green. Just anywhere in the middle of the green would be awesome. If you get this ball on the green and get a putt at a 63, that would be pretty amazing.
Yeah, that would match Joaquin Niemann, low 18-hole score in championship history. On the Nieves for par.
15 feet breaking from his right to left. Andy, these are the ones you got to grind out. Can really get you some momentum.
Well, absolutely. Sometimes making these for pars are much bigger than making birdies. Made a good run at it. That will drop him to 7 under, still with the lead.
Second bogey of the day. 4 birdies for Nieves from Puerto Rico.
Rich, you're talking about how the pressure and everything that waits for these players at the end of tomorrow's round. You got to somehow figure out a way to be able to focus on what you're doing.
A bogey putt for Gallegos.
This has all of a sudden got stressful the last hour for him.
He's gone all the way
Not
back
getting any
to
better.
Even par.
30 minutes ago, he was 6 under. You can stay connected to all the Latin America Amateur Championship action anywhere, anytime. Visit LAACgolf.com. Follow the championship on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Consistency of the weather really stands out. Calm mornings, breezy afternoons, blue skies start to finish. Haven't seen a dark cloud this week. And now Biondi second to 18.
With a great opportunity to reach this green at 2 after a big tee shot. 583 yards today, but it's playing downwind. Nothing more than about 220 left. Just trying to put it in the middle part of this green. And it's going to be just short left. And it should be a pretty decent pitch. That slope is not anywhere near as steep as what we've seen in the last half hour at 12 and 13.
Nieves at 14. This is one of those spots where you just love to drop a bag of balls and have at it.
And the tee has moved back today, guys. 161 to the hole. And other than not being able to miss left, long, or right, pretty simple.
And it is, the one thing is with the hole cut way in the back portion of this green, you've got a lot of green in front of it to land it. So you don't have to get aggressive here. Just land it 15, 20 feet short of the hole and let it release back there.
About like that.
That was perfect. Yeah, well done.
It's pretty as the surf right there. How about this stretch of holes, Andy?
Diabolical is absolutely the right adjective for this. The 14th can play anywhere from 110 to 175 yards. The players are playing these holes downwind, which really helps right now. 15 is a really strong par 4 in the 470 range. But because of the helping wind, the players are being able to hit 8 irons, 9 irons in there. 16, 223 yards today. Obviously, there's no place to go other than on the green. And then 17, where they moved the tee up to that next tee, you can see 284 yards. Just tempting the players to try to drive it on the green. I think with their length, some of these guys could hit some long irons and chase it down that hill short of the green and get it there. An amazing stretch of holes. This is one of the great courses that Pete Dye has done. All a little bit different, but there's always a little bit of commonality to his golf courses. There's a lot of these slopes off of greens and sharp edges.
And this at the 17th hole.
Bury me in a pot bunker. He loved pot bunkers, and his pot bunkers have led to a lot of disasters over the years.
He was selling insurance in Indiana. He was a good player before he went on to create some of the masterpieces in this wonderful game.
De La Fuente here at the 13th, playing out of the left-hand rough. Got to be careful not to have it jump. And he's left himself a really difficult pitch. He's got to pitch it right on the top of a knob. 13th hole, really a spectacular par 4. Takes a good tee shot, playing back into the breeze today. Carried in that 285-yard range to get the ball back into the fairway. We've seen some players hit it down there, even into the wind, where they've had wedges and 9-irons. The hole is cut right in the left corner of this green. A really, maybe a hole location that from the fairway looks pretty simple, but it might be as difficult a hole location there is on this green. Anything left is almost impossible to get it up and in, and obviously to the right you've got that severe slope to deal with. The coastline here is just absolutely spectacular, rugged, some beautiful waves breaking onto the shore. I think it'd be really neat to be here in a pretty good storm when you get some big waves, just to see what that would be like. Wouldn't want to be playing golf, but it'd be fun to be sitting down there and kind of seeing take it all in. Spectacular spot, Casa de Campo, one of the great resorts in the world, 90 holes of golf. And this is the 17th hole, looking back from the green toward the tee. We're going to see a lot of players down. You take it out to the right, hit something on the ground, hooking, get it down in that front bunker. It'd be an awesome place to play your second from.
Third shot now, the par 5 18th for Fred Biondi of Brazil, the University of Florida. He has made the big move today. 7 under on his round, chance to get it in with 64, par of 72 here, if he can get this up and down.
And this is really, if you miss this green anywhere, this is not a bad spot. Just a normal bunker shot, about a 15, 18-yard bunker shot. Should be able to control the spin and be able to keep the ball below the hole. Hear the club bouncing into the ball. Unfortunately, that is not what he had in mind. He's going to have a long birdie putt coming back down the hill, and it's going to be really fast. We've seen a couple of players do that out of these front bunkers at 18.
Now from Argentina, Segunda Oliva Pinto.
Second most difficult hole on the golf course through 2 rounds. 171 to the hole, into the wind.
This right palm tree of that group on the left is where he's aiming, and he's missed it to the right. And actually, the right today is not quite as bad as it will probably be tomorrow when they move the hole location over to the right portion of the green. He's got a little bit of green to work with.
Yeah, that's at 14 to get back to 8 under.
All 3 players hit great shots into this par 3. This 15 feet breaking from his right to left. Oh, keep moving.
Oh, wow, you thought that would just drop in. It has to go to the left at the end. Everything's breaking toward the ocean.
He can't believe it.
His coaches at Delaware say that he has emerged as the quiet team leader. More about his actions than his words. He's put in all the hard work, and he's seeing the fruits of that labor now. Biondi for birdie at 18.
7 under for the day, 6 under for the championship. Not really the kind of putt you're thinking about making. You're just trying to put the right speed on it, get it down there where you can make sure you make your 5.
Excellent.
Beautifully done. Absolutely.
Really good touch right there. Biondi from Brazil. Dad's in advertising. Mom he told me he makes macaroons and with business, and they're obviously really good. Has a brother who's a professional video game player. Fascinating family. And now Oliva Pinto.
He does have a chance down here, as Andy said.
Boy, Dottie, that's hard to keep it short coming up from there.
Yeah, it's almost like it rode up the club face, up the grooves a touch, but still under the hole and a chance for 4.
Okay. Nieves.
Just a beautiful par 4 here, bending from right to left. This one is striped.
Pretty easy to drive the ball through the fairway with the helping winds. All depends on the lie. We've seen the ball jump out of the signal rough. Let's take a look at super slow with an unbelievable background. Keeps his angle very nicely. And then releases everything at the ball. Really stays behind it.
Clear and fire. This one of what they call the oceanfront Heaven 7 holes. Pete Dye said, I created 11 holes and the good Lord did the other 7. Let's see it. 18. It's Eric Morales of Puerto Rico. There he is. But he's a great guy. Eric is involved in the business of golf. Has started a fun mid-amateur event called the Devil's Elbow here in the Dominican Republic. He has tremendous love for the sport. And now Biondi is for 65. He comes out of that University of Florida program competitively sharp. He just finished 4 rounds of qualifying alongside some of the best amateurs in the world. Talking about Ricky Castillo. Yujin Lin has won the Asia Pacific Amateur twice. Fred won the Florida State Amateur, highly competitive, last summer at Streamsong. He can go.
Did you win the Florida State Amateur? You've played some really good golf. There's been some great players. Gary Koch, Eddie Pierce, some of the guys in my era that were fantastic players that have won there.
Plays for J.C. Deacon, far left there on your screen. That's Dudley Hart, Florida graduate. There's Biondi. And then right next to Fred is Ricky Castillo. Far right, the left-hander Yushin Lin has a ton of game. Had a chance to see him at the Asia Pacific Amateur in Dubai in November. Keita Nakajima of Japan, who's the #1 ranked amateur in the world, won that in dramatic fashion. He's another potential star in the making.
Nakajima finished really well last week at the Sony Open. Yeah. I believe he got to 10 under par for the week.
And now Pinto back at 13. Dottie's there.
Chance to, I mean, it would be a 4, but it would be stealing one considering how hard this hole is playing.
We've seen almost every single player miss that to the left. They can't believe it's breaking that direction.
Andy, I think the wind is blowing just hard enough to have had an effect on that.
Well, we've seen in the past here that some days that it feels like the ocean has enough pull, the ball was actually going toward the back part of the green. Now that's what we should be doing this afternoon.
You think we could call some golf? Do you think with all the modern technology they could set us up in one of those and we could call some golf out there?
I would bet we could, but I'm an excellent driver of the boat under those circumstances. I'll get you flying from wake to wake.
Between the two of us, that'd be about 13 feet of uncoordinated out there. That's trouble. All right, De La Fuente.
That was a heck of a 4 on that hole.
They decided to use putter for the 3rd, and it turned out it was brilliant. Took the trouble out of play. Took the big number out of play.
Dottie, what do you think about what's happened to Julian Perico today?
I think if we'd seen this 2 years ago from this young man, there would have been a volcanic explosion. He's handled it really well. It shows how much he's matured, and I think it's hard to say, but he's going to learn from it. He's going to continue on.
And the crazy thing is, not even bogey here. This is oh boy.
Oh, dear.
I'm about to say, if you can get it in the house at 2-3 under par, as hard as this golf course is, as much trouble as there is, as much pressure as there will be on the leaders, if you go out and put up a 68 tomorrow, you never know.
Well, that would be the easiest way to win this, I believe, is to come from 4, 5, 6 behind. Do something like Biondi's done today.
It has not been easy today. It's all about this golf course. And here is Perico.
This was back at the 9th, very difficult par 4. That led to a double bogey.
He started with a 3-shot lead. And then at 12, this was Nieves.
There are times in golf you have to you play for a bogey. I think that was one of the secrets of playing a U.S. Open, is that if you hit a bad shot, you had to figure out some way to just make sure you made a bogey and not make a double. Because
and you knew when that moment was.
You learn that over time, that you find situations you're in that there's no way you can get it close, so why try? But yet we still keep trying to do that.
And here's Perico at 12. Like, Andy, you made one of the great bogeys in U.S. Open history at Cherry Hills, the final hole, to get the win.
It was enough, thank heavens.
but the point is, par is just a score, right?
Yep.
Sometimes you need to recognize the value in a bogey.
And that's where the experience of gone through situations like this, making these mistakes, they'll learn by it and they'll be better the next time.
All part of the process, isn't it, Dottie?
It is. It just hurts a little more when it's on television, doesn't it?
You got a nice head of hair, even if he's not in love with that bogey. Pinto of Argentina. Now at 15, Colt, just kind of, what are the conditions like out there?
It's been very similar every single day so far. The wind's been the same direction, temperature's been the same, and the wind's blowing about the same speed. It's just this golf course, you get out of position and it penalizes you. And I think these guys, with the position they're in, they're starting to realize what's possible, and they're starting to put a little more pressure, and that's why we're not seeing guys execute quite as well. But Nieves caught a great lie, 148, wind down off the left.
Should be just a perfect pitching wedge.
Yeah, that's pretty well judged there.
It's a really good shot right there. He seems to be in control of his golf ball and his emotions, Andy.
Well, maybe being in control of your emotions is even more important than being in control of your golf ball. But if you've got both going, that's a nice place to be. He currently has a 1-shot lead.
De La Fuente's hanging around at 5 under par, just 2 back.
He's very kind of even-keeled going about this round, hitting good golf shots when he needs to.
Oh, Dottie, that is just a spectacular play. Bringing in there a little bit lower, letting the ball release back to the hole. That was well done.
Give you a look at where we are. Just a couple of hours, a direct flight from Miami in the Dominican Republic. We're 50 miles east of Santo Domingo, right on the tip there. And just a beautiful spot. All the way out in the distance, Catalina Island. Legend has it that's where Blackbeard's ship was sunk with treasure. Too bad for Blackbeard, but it was good for film lovers because the myth became the movie, Pirates of the Caribbean. Pinto.
Center of the green, always a win.
I agree, Dottie. This is about eliminating mistakes on these holes along the ocean.
So we did not see this one coming as this day began with Julian Perico, one of the pre-championship favorites, leading by 3. He is no longer even on page 1 of the leaderboard. It has been a painful day. Gallegos had it to 6 under at one point, the defending champion. He made a quadruple bogey 9 at the 12th hole. You see Biondi there, and let's go down to John Sutcliffe.
Thank you, Rich. Fred, when we consider moving day on Saturday, what does it mean for you to shoot a course record 65 for this tournament? Just give yourself on moving day that opportunity.
Means a lot. I came into today very patient. I've been striking the ball pretty well, and the putting was holding me back this whole week. And started out pretty cold, to be honest with you. I mean, I was even par through 5, and the first 5 holes are pretty gettable out here. And again, like missing short putts for birdie and dumb mistakes, and kind of got some a little bit changed a little bit on my putting, and starting on 6 and just kind of made a bunch of birdies there. Got on a roll, kind of got it on a zone where I was pretty confident, and I just kept rolling with it.
How are you going to prepare for the Sunday final round with so many prizes to be giving? Your life can change forever after the final round.
I mean, same game plan. It's still golf. So I'm going to go out there and post a score, hit some shots, and see what brings. So I'm excited, and I'm happy to be able to put a 65 together.
Buena suerte. Good luck.
Gracias.
De Sao Paulo, Brasil, Fred Biondi.
Not sure if they were applauding Fred or they were applauding John.
Usually it's John.
Waiting for that. I love Sutcliffe all across Latin America. Now Gallegos.
Tell you what, guys, John Sutcliffe is a celebrity. I was his personal cameraman last night, taking pictures with all these guys. Gallegos just trying to stop the bleeding somehow, and he's got another lengthy one for par.
Going back to look at Biondi's card, he birdied 6, 7, and 8. Those are the 3 holes along the ocean into the wind on the front 9. No one will do that the rest of the week, guaranteed.
Down to 14. And Dottie, just give you a chance to sort of riff on Teeth of the Dog. You've been all over the world with this game. Go ahead.
I think it's a golf course that you have to be so disciplined to play. It's easy to get your mind lost out here because it is so beautiful, and next thing you know, those teeth are right in your bottom. Going, come on back here. This putt, I believe he has to really think about what the wind is going to do. It's going to push it toward the hole, but it's also going to push it to the right.
There's no bad par on this stretch.
So correct, Andy.
And back at 15, Nieves.
About 18 feet for his birdie. Going to break left early, and then I believe the wind and the grain will move it back to the right. Oh, boy, I think that caught Gallegos' ball marker.
I think it did, and it hopped up in the air and took all the speed off of it.
Trying to hold steady in this beautiful Caribbean paradise. Nieves from Puerto Rico with a one-shot lead on Fred Biondi, who played the round of the week with 65, 7th playing of the Latin America Amateur Championship.
Now that looks like a good thing to be doing. There are no double bogeys out there today. Absolutely fabulous day for a nice sail. That's where Rich Lerner will be about 3 o'clock this afternoon. Casa de Campo, one of the truly amazing resorts that we're lucky enough to travel to. Golf is fantastic. We've got a ton of nice little beaches, some of the homes along the coastline here. Good thing if he falls off at this point in time, it's about 6 inches deep. But it's a beautiful, beautiful spot. All types of water sports, snorkeling, paddle boarding. And by the way, paddle boarding in the ocean is not the easiest thing to do. I'd like to find a nice, calm lake and a great big board so you can stay dry. But it's just a little break there off the shore a little bit. Really has protected those beaches along the home sites. Fantastic views. 86 degrees today. Nice cooling breeze. And in the distance, that's one of the great spots. The hammock out on the point. Spend the afternoon contemplating life.
And at 14, De La Fuente to get to 6.
Going with 3 wood, and I love the play. You take it at the left edge of the far bunker. Kind of split the 2. Exactly where that ball started with a little bit of a draw. It ought to be very good.
Really enjoyed the drive, chip, and putt. And for more information on this exciting youthful initiative, kids ages 7 to 15 with a chance to compete in Augusta National, just go to drivechipandputt.com for more. Look about all the opportunities that Augusta National has made available to young dreamers around the world. Jarvis at 16.
What a great attitude this kid has, guys. Not having his best day, but he's still smiling, fist bumping everyone going down the fairways. This hole 223 yards today and got a very fortunate bounce. That was about a yard from going out of bounds.
It looks like he got all the way down into the flat of the bunker, so that at least he has a chance to get it up and in.
Yeah. Freshman at UNLV, the Runnin' Rebels.
They've had some great players come out of there over the years.
He posts a lot more shirtless pics on Instagram than I do.
So the world's waiting for those, Colt.
Keep waiting.
UNLV, at Adam Scott, most notably. Nieves.
Ryan Moore also went to UNLV, won a national amateur, NCAA. Nieves with his tee shot at 16.
This one is left, needs to get going and move to the right. Oh, stay there. Man, that is just torture. That's going to funnel all the way back into the bunker.
That should be a decent bunker shot from there. There's a lot of green to work with. Here is a slow motion. I think he's got it aimed the left edge of the green, trying to play a cut, and it just stayed there. Maybe playing for a little bit of that left to right wind.
Yeah, Andy, I mean, obviously the water gets the attention of these guys, but that out of bounds with this left to right wind comes in pretty quickly over there.
Well, we definitely saw that back at 16 when the wind was blowing the opposite direction. The players were playing fairway metals into this green. They were just hoping it stayed on land.
Young Gallegos.
223 yards today.
And he needs something good to happen. It has been a struggle ever since the 11th hole for him.
He's played his last 8 holes in 9 over par.
Yeah, that's a great shot there.
I'll see if you can figure out a way to maybe make 1 or 2 birdies finishing up. Get it back to even par. He's 2 over right now. Get it back to even par and shoot 66 or something tomorrow. You never know what might happen.
Yeah. So Matias Dominguez won the first Latin America Amateur Championship. He's in finance. A really good young man. in Chile. Chile's won 3 of the first 6. Chaplet won here in 2016. And oh, by the way, he came from 4 back in the final round, 3 under the winning score that year. Joaquin Niemann, final round 63. He's gone on to win on the PGA Tour, play the President's Cup. Alvaro Ortiz, 14 under in 2019. And then Gallegos in Mayakoba 2 years ago did not play in 2021. Supposed to be in Peru at Lima Golf Club, and hopefully we will get back there someday. They put in a lot of work down there in Peru.
Really was looking forward to a nice little course right in the middle of town. Skyscrapers all the way around. They spent a ton of money building a practice facility for these players. So it'll be great when we get a chance to go there, hopefully in the next couple of years.
And now Pinto. 15. Dottie?
Hung that tee shot out and was not able to really take advantage of turning it around the corner of the dogleg. 165 hole. Out of the signal grass, as we said, they tend to come out a little on the warm side.
I think that was really a good play. Just put it in the middle of the green, so if it jumps a little bit, he's got a little bit more room behind. But pin high, that was well done.
So Pinto, part of the Razorback team, they bring a little Latin heat. How about 5 competitors this week in the Latin America Amateur Championship from the University of Arkansas? Pinto from Argentina, Perico from Peru has kind of been the chief recruiter. Doesn't overtly recruit, but if guys reach out, if they're in that transfer portal, he'll let them know. He's had a great experience. Fernandez de Oliveira is the highest ranked player in this field at 38. He won the South American Amateur last week. And here's a guy who goes through something happening in Arkansas. Arkansas Tech, Division II, De La Fuente.
It's 130 yards. May need to get up. That wind just swatted that right down, Andy.
You know, that's something that sometimes people don't realize, that it's as difficult figuring out if it's going to come up short or ride the wind and go long. But he's on the putting surface. That Arkansas group of guys are getting on an airplane as soon as they finish tomorrow. They've got a college tournament Monday in Tucson, so they've got some traveling to do.
Arizona Intercollegiate, they will land in Tucson on a golf course they've never seen. They're going to play 36 on Monday, then 18 on Tuesday.
They're young.
Perico caddied for, speaking of the University of Arkansas, John Daly, and Julian's roommate at Arkansas, JD2, no longer Little John. And Julian had the bag for the old man, for Long John, and they got the W.
That tee shot there was off the yardage book, gentlemen. There was a little frustration behind it.
Well, he's hit a nice shot in there. He's got a great birdie opportunity. See if he can finish with something strong.
And Nieves now at 16.
Long bunker shot, but helped by being downwind. Can get this ball to release a little bit. Went with the chunk and run, and
he didn't like it.
A little too much chunk.
Yeah, decelerate a little bit. You still have to go ahead and accelerate that one.
You know, Andy, if you were even 1 under, 2 under, you're not out of this.
No, not at all. Not at all. With the way the wind can blow, it's going to be an exciting Sunday.
Nieves trying to hold on to that one-shot lead here in the Dominican Republic.
Alejandro Ferro getting ready to putt. This is the 18th hole. Par 5 that almost every player in the field, with a couple of good ones downwind, has a chance to get there. It's been a bit of a struggle today. See if we can finish up on a nice positive note and then go have a beautiful lunch sitting out in the patio. And he did that. Beautifully done. That away. Yes. Some days you struggle, and some days you 3 birdies and a few of those squares that you don't like to see in your scorecard. But it's normal breezes, about 18 miles an hour along the ocean. Well, we saw him go in. Maybe went in and had a little snack on his way back out. I want to see him stand up. That's what I want to see. I want to see him standing up in those waves. This would be, I tell you, watching people very talented do this, it's amazing. The balance and the core strength that it takes. To be honest with you, it probably helps to be 5'10" instead of 6'6".
Well, this is really quite a spot here. Altos de Chavon. It's a replica of a 16th century Mediterranean village right in the heart of the Dominican countryside. Currently, cultural center for residents, tourists, working artists from all over the world. Active studios showcasing unique works from creators in every medium, from pottery to weaving, silk screening, and everything in between. Altos de Chavon, breathtaking architectural marvel. Casa de Campo, spectacular 7,000-acre property. And now De La Fuente.
Decent speed control coming up from the front portion of the green.
Now the par putt for Nieves at 16.
15 feet, breaking right to left. This one looks good.
Nieves trying to become the first in 40 years to play the Masters. Chichi, the only golfer to have represented Puerto Rico, not only in the Masters, but in the Open as well. And now Pinto for birdie at 15.
Across the fall line, but into the wind.
Hang on. Off to short, Dottie. Just slow. You can't imagine it's slow going down at the ocean, but it was.
Now the bogey putt for Nieves.
Got to keep your focus here. This 3 feet with a crosswind. Not the easiest putt.
Okay, so he is now tied for the lead with Fred Biondi, who shot 65 today. Puerto Rico and Brazil. De La Fuente from Mexico, one back. Pinto from Argentina, one back. And now at 18, Gabriel Morgan Birke from Chile.
We've seen him year after year play some really solid golf. He's finished in the top 10 a couple of times. This is for par, a little slider from left to right. Not easy. That a way to get it in.
Chile has a really robust and growing junior and amateur golf scene. In part why they produce 3 of the 6 champions here. They play a lot of 72-hole events down there in Chile. Puerto Rico. Now again, he's not out of it, Andy, at 1 under.
No, not at all. He's got a par 5 coming up, 18. Make a birdie before that. If you can get in 3 under, I think the lead's going to be as low as 6, and maybe you could get to 7 or 8, but 3 or 4 behind is still doable. That we've seen that can go away in 2 holes here.
Yeah, surf can get rugged here, just like the golf. And so Biondi made the big move today. You shoot 70, you feel pretty good. Marcilio also from Argentina, and now De La Fuente from Mexico.
He's just steady, happy kid, chatty.
He's a good kid. Doesn't
seem that he's bothered by any of this.
Someone accidentally took my cart as well. I have to. Here's. I'll finish that story in a second. Here's Pinto and De Oliveira. This was last week in Ecuador at the South American Championship. Pinto's due some good fortune. He was tied for the lead with 2 holes to play. It was a confusing situation. Ended up playing a wrong ball, penalized, and lost to De Oliveira, his teammate at Arkansas. Also at Bandon Dunes, the U.S. Amateur, in the round of 16 against the eventual champion Tyler Strafacci, that USAM. Segundo's caddy unknowingly brushed the sand on the final hole. They were tied. Loss of hole, lost match. And he said, I just try to keep my spirits up and play good golf.
He handled it very well. I mean, a lot of us might have gone crazy if something like that would have happened. And he basically said the guy felt badly enough. I didn't need to yell at him about it. 17th hole. This is going to be fun. We're going to 284 yards today. Wind helping. Every one of these players has the distance to hit it on the green, but do you want to try to do that with the ocean, just the green hanging out on the edge of the ocean? If you could hit something low with a draw and maybe run it all the way down there would be a nice play.
While we wait, De La Fuente.
Rico on the green, got a big bounce off the barricade to the right.
All right, that's a really nice play. Slope will bring it closer to the hole. A couple of great birdie opportunities at 16. We haven't seen anybody make birdie here.
That right shoulder will help, Andy, but as Colt mentioned, you're risking putting the ball over there because the out of bounds is so close.
And now Pinto.
Job one is to hit a solid golf shot that the wind will not slap.
Oh, look out. Oh, what a break. I just said he's due some good fortune. I mean, that could have gone left into the Caribbean.
Could have gone any place,
right?
Absolutely. They're laughing about it. Yeah. So, must have mishit it enough that it landed on the rock. That could have gone any place. And it shot it way up in the air. Hard to have much spin on that one, Rich. Just releases over the green, but he's now a great opportunity to make a par.
Not complaining.
That was a 5 into a 3, maybe.
So just to finish the story about the young man in the red hat there, De La Fuente from Mexico. So somebody unknowingly took my golf cart. Everybody's given a cart here on the property if you stay here. It's kind of fun to zip around. So we were down at the beach club, about a 15-minute drive from the hotel, and he helped me find it, speaking Spanish. He's a good guy. All right, now iron play, Andy. What do you think?
Well, I think, with iron, he can get it down there close enough to the green that with the helping wind, if he can get something really running, he's still going to have only 30, 40 yards short probably to the green, which I think still gives him a great opportunity to make birdie.
All three of these guys have gone with iron. That one went right over my head and is going to go well right of the green.
Looked like you got a thumbs up as if to say it's okay.
Well,
Andy, I think these guys just want no part of that swale over the green here.
yeah, there's literally right behind where the hole's located today. What would you say is 10 feet deep? Colt, it's another one of those Pete Dye devilish things.
Whatever you plus me on your shoulders is.
Yeah, that's about 10 probably. Yeah, beautiful backdrop. Love the slow-mo.
And ahead on the green is some birdie putt for Vicente Marcilio.
He's just trucking right along. Make this one, birdie the last. All of a sudden, he's in at 6 under. Just straight up the hill from this spot. I think it went in.
Oh, yeah,
there it is.
Marcilio.
He gets him to 5.
20 years old from Argentina, plays college golf at North Texas. That's where Sebastián Muñoz, an LAAC alum and PGA Tour winner, played. Carlos Ortiz as well. And he's going to get a little merengue, or I don't know, some salsa on as we take you to break and come back. to the Latin America Amateur.
Fred Biondi from Brazil with the clubhouse lead at 6 under par. You'd think one of these players would catch, maybe get ahead of that with a birdieable par 5 8th, very reachable today. Not a ton of good scores today, a little bit maybe more difficult hole locations. The wind is maybe blew a little bit harder early this morning. And a little bit of pressure amped up on the weekend. Cut was 6 over par. 53 players made the cut. And we've seen typical, like back at that par 5 12th, where the holes cut so close to the front right edge of the green. Anybody that missed that green had trouble making par, let alone birdies. Fred Biondi, 65, 7 under par. What a round of golf today. Got a nice marina here. They've got snorkeling. They've got a great beach right there. Tonight they're going to do a nice gala down there on the beach. Not a lot of coat and ties tonight. More relaxed. But what a fabulous place to spend some time. Casa de Campo, one of the great resorts you'll ever want to go to.
After that great break at 16, here's Pinto's second shot.
He had a straight-faced chipping club in his hand first, but went with the putter.
Got a great look of how much that ball is breaking from left to right. Good 10 feet.
That shoulder swung it hard.
We've seen players from back there putt it by the hole. He's still got 6, 7, 8 feet left for par.
Jarvis at 17.
This is actually really doable, guys. All you got to do is get it to the downslope just like he did, and it'll feed right towards the hole.
Yeah, that was well, especially coming out of that rough. There's no way you can spin it, so why not use the slope to help you?
And the birdie putt for Julian Perico.
Like you said, Andy, if this goes in, he's in it still.
Absolutely. With still 17, 18 to birdie. Oh, that away. He needed that one. He's got a chance to make a couple more birdies.
Just carries the rough, and this one is chasing down towards the green. Not too bad. It was actually a pretty good spot to miss it over there, guys.
Well, that takes that deep hole behind the flagstick out of play if you're coming in from the fairway. We've got a great look, super slow-mo. Ball in some pretty good rough. So there's no way you can spin it. Keeping the angle and just releasing the club. Only had to carry that about 10, 12 yards to get it on that downslope.
Nice polite golf clap for our crew. Enjoying it out there for these beautiful shots. The exquisite direction of Mike Crow and Sellers Shy, our producer. Now, Segundo Oliva Pinto, this for par at 16.
This will break to the left as it slows down. I just got it a little bit too high. Disappointing bogey after that awesome break.
So we mentioned Keita Nakajima. 5 amateurs are currently in the field coming up this April. Laird Shepherd won the amateur. James Pyatt won that U.S. amateur at Oakmont. A number of the players in this field competed there. And Stuart Hagestad, the Mid-Am champ, will go back to the Masters. Oh, De La Fuente to 6 under par. He's tied for the lead. This is a guy who shot 60 at Lorena Ochoa's home course, Guadalajara Country Club in Mexico. I asked him, what's your biggest achievement? He said that was it. That and winning the D2 team title at Arkansas Tech. They may move down a bit if it works out on Sunday. Now Esteve for birdie at 18. He's not out of it.
Really quick coming down the hill.
Look out.
And he's put together birdies at 16 and 17 to get to this point. Now he's got a tough one to save par.
That's the thing about Perico with that birdie. He's 7 over on his round today, but 17 is the short 4. You can get a 3 there, and 18's the 5, so you don't know. Now Nieves for birdie to get back to 7 in the lead.
Looks like he wants to move from his left to right, but I believe Ocean will hold it up.
Boy, that went a bunch at the end. Has it lost speed?
Yeah, that was a misread there, Andy.
So Nieves 2 over on this backside. Made 4 birdies against 1 bogey on the front. And now we have a 3-way tie for the lead. Nieves with Biondi, who's in with 65, and De La Fuente. Puerto Rico, Brazil, Mexico, Argentina's 1 back. Chile is in a group at 2 back with Venezuela. De La Fuente at 17.
Another iron playing out short right. If you're going to lay up, lay up.
And Dottie, please tell Santiago from me again. I already thanked him, but thank him again for me for finding my golf cart.
Happy to do that for you, Fred.
Thanks.
I thought I hid that where no one could find it.
It's you?
Well, I think this is fun when you move a tee on a par 4 that early in the week is playing almost 400 yards. You make it under 300 and give the guys a chance to do something crazy. He's trying to get to the green, I think, with that long iron.
I think so, but he's got to sling it, and he missed the sling part. He might have got a little bounce to the left. They did notify the players that they would have the opportunity. There was a possibility they would be here, so they have practiced the shot.
Well, Dottie, that one hit really hard and ran all the way up into that deep hole just to the right of the green.
And right by Jarvis.
Tough up and in. It's going to be the kind of shots they saw back at 12.
And Dottie, your impressions of Pinto's game, what you've seen?
I think there's some creativity in his game. I think there's nothing that's super spectacular, but there's not really a whole lot that's lacking either. I think maybe his best asset is his confidence, his composure. I mean, I know I'd have lost it if I'd hit the wrong ball last week on the 71st hole. And he seems to be like he just gets back in the game.
And now Mateo Fernandez de Oliveira, 38th ranked player in the World Amateur Golf rankings. This big birdie putt here at 18.
Yeah, this would get him in at 72 today.
Sort of came out of that a little bit.
But 2 under, he's still right in the middle of this. I mean, he's probably going to be 5 back. You can catch that up in the front 9.
The 1 over par 73 for de Oliveira. He'll need to charge from behind on Sunday. Now Pinto.
With a hybrid, he's got his chance. This ball's going to get up in the air faster. Starts at the right edge of the green, not turning over.
Depends on the bounce. We've seen the balls come off this. This ball ended up about 10 feet off the green on the right. He's going to be able to putt the ball from there. Beautiful shot. Actually, a little bit unlucky. That hit really softly.
And now this is Esteve for his par at 18.
Not much break in this one. Basically just going straight back up the hill. See the wind blowing much harder than we've seen it early in the week.
Yep. No doubt we will see Geronimo Esteve next year back in his home territory of Puerto Rico. For the first time, they will be hosting the Latin America Amateur Championship. It goes to Grand Reserve, which has hosted the PGA Tour event through the years. And they made the announcement on Thursday with all of the dignitaries in attendance here in the Dominican Republic. There's Mike Wan, far left, Ian Pattinson from the RNA, Chairman Ridley, and right in the center is Sidney Wolf, president of the Puerto Rican Golf Federation's worked so hard. Far right, you see Martin Slumbers, and there's Lee Steislinger of Augusta National as well. Rafael Rovira, the GM of the Grand Reserve, in attendance as well. And they, by the way, will also, I'm talking about Grand Reserve in Puerto Rico, host the U.S. Women's Amateur 4-Ball. That is the first USGA event that will be outside of the mainland United States.
Well, I think that's wonderful that what Puerto Rico as a country has gone through the last 3 or 4 years with the hurricanes and all the destruction, to be able to host something, get people fired up about being involved in making a great event. That's going to be great. Really a great look back on the 17th, looking from the green back down the fairway.
I mean, Andy, you start thinking about what we're likely to see tomorrow afternoon. This backdrop, the kind of danger that's out there, and the jam-packed leaderboard and the pressure. De La Fuente.
That is a shot you just don't practice very often.
No, and you made a good point, Dot. If you're going to lay up, you have to make sure you don't lay up in a bunker or lay up too far, and that there's a tendency of younger players to do that.
The golf course is playing faster, but it was still a mistake.
Vicente Morcillo here at 18.
Downwind, he has the length. Get this one in 583, but is playing straight downwind. He's really done some nice things this week. Hang on right there. Whoa. It's going to be an interesting up and in. He's got to go over a little knob on the edge of the green.
And back to Perico at 17.
Has he learned his lesson? Oh gosh, that was all golf ball.
Oh boy.
Bunker on the other side.
And he's just completely out of sorts today.
Yeah, there's some shots that are so difficult here. There's no one easy way to do it. Could you maybe putt that and get it up on the green? Maybe that's the safest play. But anytime you've got a slope that steep, the grain of the grass is coming right back at you, and it's really difficult to judge the speed you have to hit the shot to get it to run up that slope.
That's what I think the hybrid is also a really good option there, because it does get the ball up on top of the grass surface. The face is a little hotter.
But you better practiced it a little bit too.
Absolutely. See, a lot of players of this age still play from and practice from perfect lies, from perfect areas on the golf course, when it should be the opposite way. Hit those shots you think you might never have to hit. This is a touch of class here, though.
Yeah.
What a comebacker.
To be able to save par there, that would be great after that mistake. With the par 5 coming up. He's 2 under par. If you get in at 3 under, still has a great chance to win.
And it is a golf course. If you can post a number and just let people look at it coming in, it could stand up.
Yeah, he still has a smile on his face. That give him a lot of credit.
It's been fun seeing so many of these guys kind of grow up right in front of us.
With the putter, I think this is a really good play.
It's the only play, really. Wind will push it to the right.
It's not easy to judge that speed perfectly. Coming through that much fringe with all that wind. He's probably happy with that.
He'll make that for birdie, and he'll climb back to within 1 of the lead. And this is the 7th playing of the Latin America Amateur Championship, initiative developed by the Masters Tournament, the RNA, and the USGA in hopes of elevating the amateur game in this region.
Rich, they really have. If we remember going back to the very first year when we were in Argentina, there are some scores that people weren't proud of. There were some golf swings on the range that you wondered what this was all about. And now you walk the range and every single player has improved his swings. The guys are working with teachers and getting better, and they've built practice areas in Chile and Brazil and a lot of other places that they're really getting more players involved in the game of golf and helping players improve.
I like that guy, De La Fuente from Mexico. And with more, let's bring in John Sutcliffe.
Rich, from Ocotlan, Jalisco, outside Guadalajara, to Russellville, Arkansas, Santiago de la Fuente, when he set the course record in El Country de Guadalajara, he got a phone call and he got a scholarship to go to Arkansas Tech. It's not a coincidence. The biggest stars nowadays in Mexican sports are all from Guadalajara. Loren Ochoa, Carlos Ortiz, Formula One driver Checo Pérez, Saúl El Canelo Álvarez, and maybe the next one is Santiago de la Fuente.
All right, John, nice. And, oh, boy.
Nowhere to hide out here, is there?
No.
You're wishing you could bring the left-hander out of the bullpen, don't you, Dottie?
That's exactly right.
You know, he's done a lot of interviews this week, as he did have the 36-hole lead by 3. He talked about, new attitude, sort of finding his peace and his zen. And I mean, the minute you announce all of that out loud, this game will come and get you. But he seems to be handling. He's not pouting.
There's nothing you can do. You've got another hole to play. You better try to figure out a way to do that.
You've had these days. Right?
Oh,
you're a two-time U.S. Open champion. And Dottie, you're a two-time major champ with 17 wins. Right? You've had these days?
You have them, and you can't look backwards. You got to keep going forward. We've already been there. Keep marching forward and try to put an exclamation point on today's round that starts tomorrow in a positive manner.
Exactly. Make a birdie at 18. Finish the day strong. When you go back down to the range, maybe you've got a good positive thought, something that you found out there that'll help you tomorrow.
Listen, I always think about what Padraig Harrington told me. I said, what's the greatest shot you think you've ever hit in your life? This guy's won 3 majors. I thought he would say it was the 5-wood he hit to the 71st hole at Birkdale when he won the 08 Open. He said, no, greatest shot I ever hit was the wedge, my 5th shot to the final hole at Carnoustie to set up my double bogey. I thought I'd blown it. My caddy told me to pull my you-know-what out of you-know-what. And he pulled my head out of it. He ended up making double, and he beat Sergio in a playoff. Ah, boy, it's just...
There's a lid on it, gentlemen.
It's tough going out there. Anyway, the idea is to stay in it. Next shot, regardless of what just happened. Now Marsilio third at 18.
This is just what Dottie was recommending on the last hole. He has that utility club, run it along the ground. The hardest thing is the ball usually comes out hot. But he still has a putt coming up the hill for birdie.
Back to Pinto this to stay at 4.
He's really disappointed. Put it in such a great position just off the right edge of the green, thinking he's going to make birdie, maybe get lucky and knock it in for an eagle. Walks off with a par.
And Andy, having won those 2 U.S. Opens back when U.S. Opens were at times painfully difficult, you know that it's sometimes he who leaks the least oil.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Who can make the most pars sometimes is a really good thing.
And I would suspect, I don't know, but I would suspect they're going to set it up tomorrow for some scoring and excitement.
We've been told that they're going to move the tees up at 18, so maybe played at 540, so everybody has a chance to maybe make an eagle. I would suspect they'll put the pin in the back portion of the green, so you'll be putting up at it, so we could see some 3s there. So I think they wanted a possibility of a 2-shot swing on the last hole, maybe a 3-shot swing. This putt's got to break. A little right to left as it slows. It's going up the hill. Everything breaks down toward the front left. Just didn't break enough. After that, what he thought he'd played a beautiful second shot. It landed on that left front of the green, and you walk away with a par.
Sente, the Argentine, did win the Mexican Amateur back in June with rounds of 66-64 on the weekend, a win by one. He beat the highest-ranked player in this field, his countryman De Oliveira, to win the Argentine Junior by 6. That was in 2018, so he has some winning experience as he heads to the final round. And now Nieves. And those DMDs, by the way, are allowed in this competition, just so people know.
Yes, Benz, this is a big putt to get to 4 under par. Just pretty much straight up the hill. Give yourself a good firm hit. That away.
Do not discount Chile for a 4th Latin America championship.
Which, looking at the leaderboard, the different countries represented in the top 6 or 7 is beautiful.
By the way, that is a 171 with triple at 13. Yeah, I agree with you, Andy. It's a great mix of countries.
Thank you, my brother.
That's nice. You saw one of the many volunteers telling Gabrielle what a pleasure it was to watch you play.
Keep this ball. Don't play it. Put it in your trophy case.
All right, let's bring in Colt with Nieves.
Yeah, perfect tee shot, but pretty far back. Has 249 yards to the hole, 239 to the front. And I think you got to make sure you get this one there, Andy. Short is no good. If you hit it over the green, you're chipping back into the wind with a lot of green to work with.
I agree. But it's hard to make yourself do that. You get so number-oriented.
That was skinny.
That was a big miss. It coming in real low. Actually runs through that front bunker, but now trickling back. That shouldn't be too bad.
He's got plenty of green to work with. There's a little bit of slope from his right to left, but that should be able to get that up and in.
Yeah, if he does get it up and in, he'll jump back into the solo lead here at the Latin America Amateur Championship.
Two at 6 under. We may see another before they're finished. Teeth of the Dog, playing at 7,047 yards today, designed by Pete Dine back in 1971. What a great facility this is. And here, Aaron Jarvis going at the 18th. That is his 3rd shot. That will set up a birdie opportunity for him. It's 3 under par for the championship. 2 over for today's round. So if you get that back to 73, get to 4 under, great opportunity to set himself up to be in the hunt tomorrow. Freshman at UNLV in Las Vegas. Nieves with this is his scorecard as we watch him walk up here to get ready to play his 3rd shot. A couple of bogeys in the back after a 3 under 33 on the front 9. Could maybe hold a bunker shot. Get in 3 under par for today. But I think he'd love to just get it up and in, get in at 7 under, and possibly have the lead.
Pinto 18T.
His best tee shot, Andy, he can get there.
Yeah, the wind is really helping the players. It's firming up. The ball's running some. But being in the fairway is important. He's done exactly that.
2 over on his round today, but still only 2 shots back.
And here's a great look at the 18th. Par 5. Straight downwind today. Most of the players are hitting it past that landing area because of the helping wind. A lot of them are taking it right over that bunker. We've seen some 6-irons into this green. If you happen to hit a poor tee shot, you've got to lay it up probably short of that tree and those 2 bunkers in that widest area. You don't want to put it in that little narrow area. Really a nice shaped green. Holes cut in the front left today. Anything in the middle part of this green is a nice play on your second shot.
De La Fuente after that disappointing bogey at 17.
Boy, that really is going to make it difficult getting to the green. There's quite a few trees that run up the right side of this fairway.
This is the third now ahead at the green for Nieves.
Caught a great break. It rolled through the bunker and stayed in the grass. This is about as straightforward a pitch shot as you can get.
Quite a bit of break from his right to left.
That one rode up the face a little bit and needs to go.
It's going. It's almost like a chunk and run. He kind of bounced the club into it and it got some roll to it. Didn't have much spin, so he's got a putt for 7 under.
And now Gallegos.
Should have learned quite a bit off Nieves' shot. But man, what a tough second 9 it's been for him.
He started out with a birdie at 10, and he's thinking, man, this is going to be gravy back here. A couple of bogeys, a double, and a quad at that par 5 12th.
He was right there after the eagle at number 2. It was 7 under for the day, or for the championship.
Got to give him some credit, though. He's really held it together. Has shown no emotion or anything.
It really hit softly. Ended up about the same place.
So, see if he can make a putt to finish here on day 3. And a beautiful one it is. Really no other kind this time of year in the Dominican Republic at the Latin America Amateur Championship. The Latin America Amateur Championship is proudly brought to you by Delta. Keep climbing. UPS, be unstoppable. 3M Science, applied to life. And Rolex. Just love this spot. 249 guest rooms here at Casa. An additional 64 smart rooms are under construction. 50 villas ranging from 3 bedrooms all the way to 11. As we watch Jarvis for birdie to get to 4 and certainly right in it going to Sunday.
Fairly quick, left or right. Caught the edge.
Andy, what a comeback that is. He was 6 back through 10 holes today. Played himself right back into it.
Doesn't look like he gets terribly excited about anything, Colt. That's a great attitude to have out here.
Had a fantastic attitude all day I was out here with him.
Cayman Islands with a crack at it going to the final round. And now Gallegos.
This would make lunch taste a little bit better.
When you think about this third round, the star was Fred Biondi with 65. The villain, if it were a movie, would have been the 12th hole.
Absolutely.
I mean, because
Absolutely.
That's where Gallegos came undone with the quad that he made. And then obviously Perico made double at number 12. And, you know, he had middle iron in his hand for that second shot at the par 5.
Yeah, that's what's so crazy about this game we play, that you're thinking you're going to make a birdie or an eagle and you walk off with a 9.
Nieves is for the solo lead.
Almost exactly the same spot. He should know exactly what this is going to do. right in confidently. There we go. There's our leader.
There he is, 21-year-old from Puerto Rico, senior, University of Delaware, the Blue Hens. And so we'll have a chance to, as it would be for any of these young players, fulfill the dream of a lifetime. Earn an invitation to the Masters, the 150th Open. Final qualifying for the U.S. Open. Now, De La Fuente second here at 18.
Let's get this ball over the lip of this grass bunker and then under the trees. Just hit a tree, but came out near the cross bunker just before the upslope. He'll be fine.
Just missing it to the right makes this hole a little bit more complicated because all the trees that run up this right side of the fairway.
And now Pinto.
231 to the front, another 10 to the hole.
We've seen a lot of players land the ball going right at the flagstick here, Dottie, and they've missed the green on the left. Just put it out in the middle of the green. Give yourself 35 or 40 feet for eagle.
Appears to be the longest iron he has in his bag, 4. Just catches the upslope and comes back down.
2 more yards, and that's absolutely perfect.
And so Nieves is in with a hard-fought round of 200 par 70, and he has the lead here at the Latin America Amateur Championship from magnificent Casa de Campo in the Dominican Republic.
Every one of the players on that leaderboard have got a great opportunity to walk away very happy tomorrow afternoon. Now Perico playing his second. A little bit of an awkward shot down in this low area. He's got to get it up over the mound. So he just launched it up in the air. Can this possibly get to the green? Just trickles into that bunker, and that's not a bad place to be. So he's got a great chance to make a birdie. Fairly flat bunker. Pretty simple to play out of. And plenty of green to work with. So all in favor of maybe making a birdie here. Tough day. You know, you're going to have some of those in this game. The one thing I think is really important is that you can't ever feel embarrassed. As long as you're giving it your best shot on every single shot, that's all that matters. Figure out ways to turn those 76s into 74s, turn those 73s into 70s. That's when you become a great player. But what a finish we're going to have tomorrow. We're going to have 10 players, 2 under par or better, within 5 shots of the lead. Any one of those players go out and play a round like Fred Biondi did today, and all of a sudden they're going to the Masters. They're going to the Open Championship. They're changing their lives.
Talk about a turnaround here in round number 3 in the Dominican Republic. Fred Biondi of Brazil started 10 shots back of Julian Perico of Peru. Fires 65. Perico goes the other way dramatically on a day when his scoring average was just about 2 shots over par. He goes 9 less and is now 1 shot back of the leader, Roberto Nieves. And now De La Fuente, third shot here at the par 5 finishing hole.
90 yards to the front, right at 100 yards to the hole. Decent lie.
Okay.
Just so difficult to spin. Hang on, and that's going to creep through the green. Well, he thought he played a really good shot. Couldn't have landed it much shorter.
Andy, how much is the challenge heightened when it's a little firmer?
Well, it has firmed up. Talking to some of the gentlemen at the USGA, they are a little bit disappointed that it rained 0.3 of an inch on Thursday night and a little bit on Friday night. It softened the golf course a little bit, but it is now firming up, and you can see you've got to put the ball in the fairway if you expect to spin the ball, and I think that's what you want of setting up a golf tournament.
Mother Nature is close to being undefeated, isn't she?
Absolutely.
Always. Third for Perico.
Continuing to play really quickly.
Hang on. Stayed up on top. He'll be able to put the putter on that.
You wouldn't know. He's had a bad day just by looking at his face and his demeanor.
No, that's the maturity that we've really seen. Such a difference even from 2020 with this young man.
But he knocks that one in, he still has a chance.
You're exactly right. Pinto's got it in a place where he might actually be able to put a little spin on it.
Well, I think this is one that's, you're not expecting to make this, but it can roll up there and maybe fall in. That was nicely done. Below the hole. Finish up with a birdie 4 on this last hole.
It would get him to an intuitive lead.
Nice looking slow-mo. Club face wide open. Stays wide open. That's how the club face follows through and it stays dead flat, like you could put a glass of water on it. That's exactly what you want to do.
Such good camera work right
I love that.
Yeah. De La Fuente. Dottie?
There seems to be some discussion about what club he was going to play with, and the putter is now about to hit his hands. I like this play, Andy. It's there's too much grain, the chance sticking the club right in the ground and dumping it right at your feet again.
No, even if you don't hit a great putt from here, you still should get it 5-6 feet from the hole. If you hit a good one, you roll it up there within a couple of feet. Where if you miss that chip shot, now you bring 6 into play.
Oh, you could be doing that chip shot all over again.
Because it's going to come back to you. That's beautifully done. For everybody at home, if you've got a chance to use the putter, use it. I don't care if you're 40 yards off the green. If it's going to help you not make a mistake, go ahead and do it.
All right, De La Fuente taps, even par 72, 5 under for the championship and only 2 back. And while we have a moment, let's go down to John Sutcliffe with the leader.
Rich, Roberto, what does it mean to give yourself an opportunity to go for the title on Sunday with 18 holes to play?
This is just this is the coolest thing ever. I mean, I couldn't have jumped to be in this position. It's exactly where you want to be. I feel like I've played pretty well, and I'm just really happy to be able to do this and represent Puerto Rico, and hopefully I can give it a shot tomorrow. What
would it mean to be able to play the Masters, the Open Championship in San Andreas? Have you thought about it, or mainly have not thought about it? Maybe an hour during the week.
Well, I've only dreamt about that, but that would be just unbelievable, and I'm really happy to be in this position right now.
Buena suerte. Good luck tomorrow.
That's it. Thank you,
Rich.
That about sums up the feeling of all of these competitors. This is the coolest thing ever. Although in the case of Perico, this one stings just a little bit. But still, that too is part of the game, even when it hasn't gone your way. Hats off. Bring everybody in.
They keep telling us that you learn more when you have to go through adversity. A lot of days you'd like not to have that happen, but every one of these are a learning experience. You just hate to have it happen at the biggest stage where he was looking so forward to having a chance to do all the things that you dreamt about tomorrow afternoon.
A 3-shot lead to start the day. Julian now 6 back at 1 under and tied for 11th. And now his Arkansas teammate. Yes.
And Rich, many, many years ago, a guy named Johnny Miller struggled on a Saturday and went out and shot 63 on Sunday and won the U.S. Open. So it is doable.
Curtis Strange shot an 83rd round at the Masters. Came back with 65, right?
It happens.
Didn't win. That was Langer. He was able to rebound. So who knows here at Teeth of the Dog. Nieves of Puerto Rico leading Biondi of Brazil. And then a host of countries are right there. Everybody loves this game, right? We're all looking for that little secret. For the entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now from the Latin America Amateur Championship. We'll see you on Sunday.